Hey, this is Michael with Digital T-Shirt Shop. So the good, the bad, and the ugly about today. So I'm going to be a little bit candid about something that, hopefully a little bit candid and a little bit factual about uh, my experience today. So this has nothing to do against the people that I'm printing shirts for. And the whole reason why I'm talking about this is because the whole purpose of this vlog that I'm doing is to talk to people about running a business. And this is coming from the perspective of running a business versus the job that I chose, or how I chose to bid on a job, or any of those things, or the person who asked for the work to be done. It has nothing to do with that. It's taking making sure that you have evaluated your business operations and know the value of it and know your limitations on it and understand what you can do things for. So today started with me taking on a job for the Taekwondo studio that my kids go to. Which we love those people. They're fantastic people, and we want to help them out and do what we can for them. However, they, this particular job. So I bought all the stuff to start printing with white ink, and I got it kind of all set up in January, February. So I've really only been doing it for a few months, and I've not had a lot of jobs coming in. I've had a single print here, and a single print here, and a single print here, and 2 prints here, and 3 prints here, all single-sided prints. Today really kind of stretched me. I've not done double-sided printing with DTG. So this morning I got up really early in the morning, and I kind of had an idea of, okay, how can I do this and make it easy? And it just was not working. I wasted a bunch of not a bunch, but a few t-shirts, a bunch of ink, and ended up having to call tech support to kind of figure out the proper way to do it. Partly because I kind of scoured YouTube and I couldn't find any instructions on how to do it. Just kind of looking for YouTube videos and stuff. I mean, they all show how to do pre-treating and DTG printing, but not double-sided and the proper order to do it. Well, anyhow, the tech support people told me, and it kind of made sense, and I came back and I did it, and it worked. However, when you take into account the whole concept of taking and considering the size of a job that you do, the limitations of your machine, the time involved in the whole process. I take my shirt, I've got to pre-treat it, I've got to heat press it, I've got to flip it over, I've got to pre-treat it, I've got to press it. I got to take and I print it. I'm printing it with white ink. It doubles, triples the amount of time. It goes slower, doubles slower. And then I got to heat press it, and then I got to flip it over, and I got to print it again, and it goes double, triple slower, and then I got to take and I got to heat press it. And I'm noticing as I'm sitting here doing these that I am only printing like about 8 shirts an hour through this whole process, when I consider all of the pre-treating, the pressing, the printing, the pressing, all of that stuff. It's, this job is about 44 prints, actual prints, and then 44 pre-treatments, because front and back of 22 shirts, and so 88 times on the heat press. And so far, I got home and I was just incredibly tired this evening, and I knew that they needed these shirts in the morning. And I try not to work on Sunday. Saturday, I don't know what happened. I didn't get to it on Saturday, so I know he's going to do it Monday morning. And I had the problems Monday morning, so they know they needed them Tuesday morning, so I started working on them at about 9 p.m. on Monday night yesterday, and now it's 2 in the morning, and I'm still working on them. So I'm 5 hours into this, and I've still got a few shirts that still need to be printed on both sides. I'm making a YouTube video in the middle of it. And I messed up on another shirt that I don't have a replacement for. And I'm noticing as I'm doing this that, I'm going, God, 8 shirts an hour, is that really worth my time? How much I'm making off of these shirts? Is it really worth my time? Now again, not related to the Taekwondo studio, but in general, people are going to come to me and they're going to ask me, hey, can you do this job for me? And they're going to say, I want a shirt printed on both sides, and I want like 50 of them, and I want them in like 3 days. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that, because if all I got to do is reflect back upon this experience and realize that I'm not going to want to spend that time doing that. And especially where the larger the volume you get, the more people want it discounted, because obviously they're buying a larger volume. They think the price should be lower. Excuse me. It is 2 in the morning, and I've been up since 3 in the morning yesterday. 3:30. I don't know. But you gotta think about that. You gotta think about that, and that's the whole reason why I'm talking about this and adding a little vlog post on this, is so you do think about it. Now, granted, I would probably do this again for them just because I like them and I like helping them out, and I might do it for other people because I like them and I like helping them out. Just anybody came to me and asked me to do it, I don't know that I would do it. The family reunion shirts I did the other day that were all one-sided were twice as easy as this. This I'm noticing I'm having some inconsistencies with my pre-treatment solution. I've had 2 or 3 shirts or 4 or 5 shirts. I don't know. There's been a number of shirts where the white ink hasn't been consistent across the image. There's been a number of shirts where it appears that the pre-treatment solution wasn't consistent across the shirt, and just a number of things like that have just kind of added and complicated the process. And for every one of those that goes wrong and I've got to reprint it, there are a few that I'm kind of going to just let go through, even though I wouldn't. I just don't have a replacement shirt. I kind of had what I had in order to fill a number of these sizes that they needed, and I just don't have any others. And they need them tomorrow's the problem. So, but it's, just kind of being candid about it. I think taking this job was a good idea, because I think I learned a lot from it. And I think that it will help me be more wise about the jobs that I accept in the future. And I've been thinking a lot and talking to my wife a lot about taking more jobs like this and actually going and trying to seek them out. And I'm realizing much more clearly, even though I knew it to begin with, that there are jobs that are great for DTG printing, and that's what most of my business is built on, is this one-off business of just printing the one-off shirts that people buy. This is fantastic for that. You do a dozen of those a day or 2 dozen of those a day, you've got a great business that's just kind of turning, and you're making a great profit off of each shirt that you're selling. You start getting into this where there's the burden of hitting deadlines, and likelihood is I've got, when you're comparing image to image to image to image, inconsistencies in those images are going to be much more apparent to the customer, and thereby could cause you some grief. Where screen printing, I know there can be inconsistencies with screen printing as well, especially where there might get to be little holes in a screen, and you might end up with a dot here and there that doesn't belong there. But I did some screen printing when I was younger, but it's still quite a bit different than the direct to garment printing. So still quite a bit of difference in it, And I realize with the DTG printing, there's some things that I just really don't have enough control over, and that's the consistency of the speed treater, the speed of the DTG printer, some of those things. And I mean, I don't know how I can make it go any faster. It just kind of goes as it goes. So, and it's going slow. So, but anyways, if you are thinking about getting into DTG printing, this may be something that kind of helps you think about it. Should I get into it? If I get into it, are my expectations realistic? And I was watching a video on YouTube the other day, and the guy in the shop had kind of bounced around from a few videos. Stan Banks, great guy, great videos, and I think I kind of bounced from him to T-shirt help desk, great guy as well. Got some great videos, and then I think I bounced some video with some guy talking about in his print facility, DTG printing doing about 20 shirts an hour versus screen printing 400 shirts an hour, and there being a real vast difference based on the quantities that people are looking for, and that ability to do a repetitive print over and over and over and over again. And it is fast and effective with screen printing to do a lot of prints, and this just really is not realistic for that. Very, very, very unrealistic for that. So for what it's worth, just to kind of give you some perspective on it, so you understand what your capabilities are. And I think they do rate this Ricoh 3000 or i3000 as doing close to 20 shirts an hour, but this has got to probably just be colored print on white t-shirt. Those do actually go quite fast, but this white ink printing, it's not. You'd be lucky to do a small. Probably you may be able to do it with a small image, with white ink, 10 an hour, but not what I'm doing here. So it's taken far longer than that. So, anyhow, just thought I'd be candid about this experience. So, thanks. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe to Digital T-Shirt Shop as well. So.